Hello, it's me. I've come again who believe that we can make this world, Nigeria in particular, a better place for everyone to live in. Please, if this is your first time of coming across this channel or YouTube, I want you to please subscribe, like, drop your comment on how we can change our attitude, our behavior, and our mindset so that we can come together to make Nigeria one of the best country for each and every one of us to live in. Today, I have a very big topic before us. It's something that we're familiar with, something that has been in existence that in one way or the other, this Western and they use it to come and siphon money from Africa. When they go back, nobody say a word about it. Nobody even remember to question them for it. I want to quickly talk about this climate thing they're talking about today. For the past 2 years now, this little girl from Iceland has been protesting, traveling around the world, talking about this climate stuff. But the problem and my pain is this: they are protecting that the level of carbon and fire and heat that the earth is going to experience in the next 10 years is going to be unbearable for everybody. But the thing is that nobody is saying anything about the situation, nobody is saying anything on how to prevent this destruction. First, let us go back to, I think, 5 or 8 years ago. Let's go back to the issue of bird flu. I want to open the minds of Nigeria and West Africa in whole to know that sometimes these Western and these European people, American people, they just feel Africa is a place like a dustbin, a place like trash. They can just go to train anything and make use of it and take it out when they want. It's so annoying, it's so very, very stupid of Africa. Sometime years ago, they came to Africa, some group of people, they said there is a sickness, a disease called bird flu. It's it's chicken, eggs, and the rest of them. They made some of our fathers to throw away to kill all the birds in their poultry, throw away the eggs. They said the name was bird flu. Now let me open your mind to know something. You see the period that bird flu came to Africa. It was the period of Greece, a European country, having an economic crisis. Now this is what they do. They needed to assist Greece in their economic problem. They needed to boost their economy. They needed a way to raise money to assist Greece. That was when the issue of bird flu came up. Now they came to Africa, they succeeded in some of West Africa. The most painful part is that they don't go to East Africa because most of them are Arab. They will get problem with them. They come to most of the British colony and the French colony, which is the western part of it. Now they came to Africa. They told us that some birds are sick. This is the same bird flu that has been existing. That when you eat it, you contaminate it. My dear Africans, my beloved Africa, the way these people eat meat, we don't eat meat like that. Let's get that into our score. These people, they don't cook meat well cooked. Their meat is not well cooked. And scientists make us to understand that whatever that is boiled above 360 degrees, that all cells are dead. So they came to Africa. They told us that the bird flu, it can be eaten through meat, through fowl, through birds. Now, we were scared. And we have these same doctors in Nigeria, these same scientists in West Africa. Once these people come, our leader will just welcome them, embrace them, emulate whatever they say. Nobody's going to say, okay, don't worry, we've heard what you said. We will take our own time to do our own research. We will bring out our own scientists to go over this thing, to find out if what you're saying is true. Now, they came to West Africa. They succeeded in some part of the Africa. They're getting word of one because let me tell you, there is no country that will go to another country, say they want to assist you without asking anything in return. It's a bloody fucking lie. They don't do it. The Westerners, they don't do. They will always ask anything in return. And the government will never say it openly because it's a kind of disgrace to them. Now they came, they said there's something like bird flu. The thing was that maybe after a while, they will mix some body pains and vitamin C together and give it to these countries. They said they have gotten the cure. They will go back. They tell you this is what they want in return. Yes, Africa will gladly accept it. They will appreciate them. They will be thankful. They will be grateful for it. It's a trash. That was how they wanted to agree as they wanted to assist the Greece economy. Yes, they succeeded in some country. They went back to Europe. They assisted Greece then. It was all to no avail because they did succeed in the part of the Africans they planned to. They did not succeed. Bird flu came and it was gone. Bird flu has never killed anybody in Nigeria, in Africa since then. Till now, everybody is still eating the same bird, eating the eggs the way they like. After that, when Spain was having an economic problem again, after like 2 years of Spain struggling with their economy, trying to survive, or not to be in vain, no solution, no result, they came up with another sickness called Ebola. Africa, West Africa leaders, be wise, open your eyes. They came up with another sickness called Ebola. The worst, my pain is this. These people will always get a backbiter. They will always get some African leader that will join them in this stupidity, that will join them in this ungodly act, that will join them to sell out this African, that will become a traitor to Africans. Now, when Spain was having economic crisis and problem, they came up with a sickness called Ebola. The worst of America will always be involved in one way or the other. I tell you, one doctor came to do a research. Why must it be Africa? Go to some part of South America, they are suffering. Go to some part of India, they are suffering more than the way we suffered in Africa, more than what some of us are suffering in Africa. Do your research about these things. It will always be Africa because African leaders they are not going to say anything. They are not going to utter a word. They are very easy to cajole. They are very easy to deceive. They will not say anything because if they want to ask questions, they will say, "Don't worry, whatever we're going to get from it, they will give you some part of it." Because of greediness, stupidity, selfish interest, personal pocket, they will succor, they will accept. Now, the way they came up with the issue of Ebola, the way they were burying people in that sickness in the name of Ebola, we don't know where they got those videos from. We don't know where those newsmen were from. Every day in all part of West Africa, they were digging holes, throwing people inside like garbages, as if they are being throwing garbages into the Africa. It has gotten to the point that when these people came up with something, tell them that you will do your own research about it. So Ebola, they needed to assist Spanish economy. That was when they came up with the story of Ebola. Now, people that was coming from Africa then, Europeans even went as far setting something like alarm in their airport. When you come down from Africa, they ask you to pass through that place. When the alarm rang, they said you have the sickness called Ebola. But thank God for some of our family members or some of our country brothers and sisters who went to Africa that period, who have personal daughters in Europe. I watched one in Germany that came back, an Igbo woman. They said she has Ebola. Or after all said and done, it was just a yellow fever when the doctor confirmed it, even in Madrid airport. But thank God, the way they were going about Ebola, then let me ask you one question. If it is real that Ebola is real, how many people do you think would have still been alive in Africa, in West Africa, till now? The way they said Ebola was being transferred through air, like atomic bomb. But now, the issue of Ebola is dead because Spanish managed to maneuver their economy. Although they succeeded in some country raising money in one way or the other, yes. But this is the tragedy, as in, this is the way these people come to Africa to raise money. Be wise, Africa people. Now, this climate stuff, the main reason for this topic, this climate stuff have come now. This little girl is traveling all over the world, through the sea, through the land. She does not enter flight. She has stopped school. According to European law, once you're 12 years, they don't see you in school. They will send for your father and your mother. If your father and your mother don't take time, they will go into prison for it, for not sending you to school. Now, the girl have dropped out of school. There's something she always said, if I watch her, that we should not listen to her. We should listen to the scientists. It's a good thing. It's a good idea. Yeah, we should listen to the scientists. But they are protecting now. Have you people noticed it? They are not giving us solution to this protect. They are not giving us solution to this climate problem. They are saying is heat problem. They are saying is a carbon problem. Believe me, the countries that is still manufacturing iron are still very much in function. The countries that manufacture ship, they are still very much functioning. The ships that are working in this sea that is causing all of them are still functioning. In some countries, they say they are banning diesel car. How many kilometers will the diesel carbon travel to? They are all deceiving themselves, not me and you. Let's wake up. Why I'm talking about this climate problem, there'll be protection now. Over 2 years, they have not come up with a solution. They have not come up with what is going to be done. They are cooking up a parliament. They are cooking up some set of people. They are trying to reach out to Africa now. The African stupid people that will be a part of them. Because at the end, Africa is going to be a victim. They want to explode money from. To come and say they want to send scientists to look for solution to these people. Not even solution, to go and look for solution. They want to look for a way now to look for how they will cook up a story, how they will cook up a body to form an organization that will go to Africa now with one kind of sickness, one type of disease. Maybe this time this time will be Ebola, bird flu. We don't know yet. But mark and listen to this video, save it before the solution of this climate will come. A disease is expecting to come up, and it's going to be originated from Africa, because every bad disease is always from Africa. And the painful and the worst part of it, African leaders, they are not going to say anything. They will accept the name of this sickness. They will accept this disease. Then they will start to use them to do African people to do research about this disease, to use African to do practical. Why we have doctors, we have scientists. All they do in Africa is go to school, read, practical, none. Theory exam. They will never put these people into use. People will just come from nowhere, use their head, use the whole country's head, and go back to where they came from. Have you ever asked yourself, where is bird flu today? Where is Ebola? So the sickness, they just came from nowhere, they disappeared to nowhere. This is a way of siphoning money from Africa, because they will never give you anything for free. This is a way they get money from Africa. Now, this climate problem, people that is manufacturing iron still all over, that is known all over the world, they are not disturbed now. They are still very much working. They are still functioning very well. They said it's heat and carbon problem, smoke, diesel car. They should ban diesel car. How many kilometers can diesel car go to? Let these people be truthful to themselves for once. Because they have not succeeded in forming a body. They have not succeeded in creating a group that will go to Africa and look for one disease and give it a name that even the African leaders cannot comprehend. They cannot even imagine that kind of name. They've not heard of it before. They will cook up that name. They will tell Africa, this is a new disease. Oh. Please, let's open our eye. If this is your first time of coming across this station, I want you to subscribe, like, drop your comment. It is very important. Enough is enough. Thank you.